Like, everything good over there, girl? Like, what's going on? You know? I know it's been such a long time since my last upload, and I thought now would be the perfect time to come back at you guys, say hello, and update you on a few life events that have been happening and why I've been basically a ghost over the last 6 months. If you are new here, my name is Kenya. Yes, like the country. And I'm an American girl living abroad in Rome, Italy, sharing my life and experiences with all of you. Now, there are a few new subscribers, and I just want to say ciao and thank you for tuning in. But before jumping into the video, I want to say make sure you like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload. Now, I am trying to have a new video for you guys every Sunday, and maybe sometimes on Thursdays. I'll say that as like an ambitious target, but for sure on Sundays, because that is about what I can do at the moment and keep consistent, of course. For starters, I don't think I can jump back into this video without actually mentioning where I've been. This year, 2022, when I'm uploading this video, has been a bit crazy. I mean, every month I've basically been traveling somewhere in another country, visiting my family. So it wasn't without its highlights. Of course, I love to be, a world traveler and living new experiences. But it was a lot. Like, I couldn't even maintain my schedule with social media. I was just really trying to live in the moment. And I'll get to that later, but let me do a recap. January was New York. February, I was back in Rome. And then I actually went to Montepulciano in Tuscany to do, a little bit of wine tasting, which was an experience in itself. In March, I was back in Rome, and in April, I actually went home to Texas to visit my family. So that was a lot of fun. I ended up doing a spur of the moment girls trip with my mom to Mexico. So we went to both Cancun and Tulum, the usual American hotspots. I personally had never been to Mexico, and for me, it was a surprising experience. Like, I guess I went when the seaweed, I think it's the seaweed, right? It was really prevalent on all the beaches. But besides that, I didn't know, like, the sand was so white and the water was so clear. Where have I been? I don't know, but it's so funny because I go all the way around the world for the same thing, and I had never been to Mexico until this year. So 2022, new life, and Mexico really surprised me. In May, I actually came back to Rome, and shortly after my arrival, I decided to take off on a trip I already pre-planned to Portugal. Also a first for me. So I was in Lisbon for, I don't even remember now, a few days, maybe 5 days, and that city really stole my heart. Like, I really enjoyed my time in Lisbon, but a lot of people do. So many Americans are moving there right now, but Lisbon really surprised me. I didn't really know what to expect, but it left me like brilliantly surprised, and I really can't wait to go back. I actually wished I planned a bit more time in Portugal. I should have went to Porto. I should have just, I don't know, done a 1.5 week, 2 week thing, because now I regret it. And it's not that close to Rome, by the way. It's 3.5 hours away. So it's quite a trip, let me say. And then also at the end of May, I actually went to Sardinia, so I went to Cagliari for my birthday with my twin sister. If you guys don't know, I actually am an identical twin. I think I mentioned this in multiple videos on my channel. Yes, she has my same face. She actually lives in Switzerland. So that's the only family member I have on my time zone. But it's nice to have someone, that I can call or message and they can respond in the normal, hours, working hours, because otherwise I have to wait until like 5 p.m. For everyone in Texas to wake up. And then in June, I actually went back to Switzerland to see my sister in Zurich. So that was an adventure as well. The summer in Switzerland is fantastic. I mean, the sun was shining, it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold. The weather was perfect. So I think I got a good day to travel there. And it was just a great time to catch up with my sister, to do a walk around the city, have, a glass of wine outdoors near the lake. It was a vibe. I like Zurich too, but I'm more of a summer girl versus a winter. I don't really like the cold and the snow. So, in that sense, I prefer Rome for the climate. Then moving on to July, I actually went to Stockholm, Sweden, because one of my friends that I met when I was doing Erasmus/study abroad, she was actually getting married, and that was a really spur of the moment decision, last minute, to go for the weekend. For those of you that don't know about that experience, back when I was doing my bachelor's degree, I actually went to Stockholm for 6 months. So I lived in the city from January through June, and what an experience that was. That was an experience. On top of the darkness and then the brightness and then the snow, it was a lot, okay? For a girl from Texas, I'm used to the heat, I'm used to the warmth, and I intentionally picked Stockholm though, because out of the choices at that time, it was the most different from any of the other experiences I could have, chosen at the time. So I thought, why not? Like, I want to do something out of the box. And yeah, so I was in Stockholm for 6 months. Quite an experience. I loved it. The snow was a lot though. It was a lot. Then in August, I actually went to Denmark. So I went to Copenhagen and Malmo, Sweden. That's not the first time I've been there. I traveled there, I think 3 or 4 years ago, but it was great to go back. The weather in that sense was perfect too, which I didn't necessarily expect. It can be a little iffy on my trips that I've had in Sweden and in Denmark, but the sun was shining, it was perfect. I linked up with one of my old friends from university, and it was just great to see her and catch up. So it was so cute, and it was a vibe, and the sun was shining every day. I can't complain. I think it's so interesting to go from living in Italy and then, going to the northern countries as well, because it's a different way of life, different pace of the city, just a totally different experience. And then, as usual, August comes with summer holidays. And my summer holiday in August, I actually spent the week in Crete. And actually, it kind of rolled over into the first week of September as well. So I took that last week in August, first week in September, to go back to Greece. And that was really fun because I've never been to Crete. Like, I've never been to Crete in my life. I've been to Greece, I've been to Athens, Mykonos, Santorini, the usual tourist hotspots, but I've never had the experience of going to Crete. And I'm not gonna lie, I was really blown away by that too, because the island is huge. Number one, did you guys know how big Crete is? I need to put how large it is here, or it was huge. Like, you needed a car to get everywhere around, and it was just a wonderful experience to see something new. I never really had Crete on my list, but it was something that eventually I would get to. And I was like, why not? We go to Crete. It was a great experience. So I recommend it if you haven't been to Crete. Set aside at least, in my opinion, 1 week, preferably 2, to just stay on the island. It was great. I loved it. So as I mentioned, September also included the week in Crete. And then I actually got the wonderful opportunity to surprise my mom in New York. So long story short, my twin sister had already booked a trip to New York to actually, visit the city. She wanted to go for, a few years now. And I had just flown back through New York in January. So I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go back. I just went there in January. Here it is, September, 9 months later. I wasn't really convinced. I had already been there. I don't know. I was a little on the fence. And she decided to go. And then I decided, hypothetically speaking, let me look at flights for the last minute. Are they super expensive now? Are they more or less the same as they were, 6 months ago? And that price, guys, the price was pretty stable. It was the same that she had paid 3 months prior whenever she booked the flight. So I was like, wouldn't this be fun to do a little surprise? Because my mom was not expecting me at all. And I had to basically lie. I am not a liar. I do not like lying. I felt guilty. The whole flight from Rome to New York, I had knots in my stomach, oh my gosh, she thinks I'm in the countryside. She thinks I'm in the Italian countryside in Molise. There's no way that we're gonna be able to pull this off. So it was successful. It was actually a successful surprise, and I'll put the video here. My mom walks in and she just loses it. I'm hiding around the corner. She doesn't even expect. It was a great experience. We saw Lion King on Broadway. That was the first time I've been to Broadway. And all my New York experiences, because I don't remember the first time I went to New York. I don't remember what was going on, but we didn't go. And then this time, in January, I think it was closed for COVID. Don't quote me. I don't remember. And then this time we actually got the chance to go. So it was a lot of fun. October, after all of those trips, I just stayed in Rome to recharge. Basta, I was tired. Your girl was tired, okay? And then this month in November, I actually went back to Zurich again. My sister hosted a Friendsgiving. So I went there to visit her as well and just do, the usual bi-annual trip to Zurich, or I hope to do a little bit more, but at this stage, it's bi-annually. And now that December is approaching, I plan to stay in Rome for this month. And then you're gonna have to stay tuned because I have a few things coming up in the pipeline. So let's address another point, why I took a break from social media. So to be completely honest, after the pandemic restrictions, and those went on for about, 2 years, I was living in the moment, okay? I was living life in the moment. I didn't care about video recording everything. I didn't care about taking photos of myself in certain places. I was really just enjoying my time outside, okay? Outside after 2 years of being in the house or being, restricted in some fashion or some nature, I was just living in the moment. And that's another reason why I didn't upload, because I've just been taking in everything, because after seeing the walls of your apartment and your house, the same ones for years and years, I was ready to go outside and I was ready to live in the moment, because you just never know what the next day will bring, honestly. And if this pandemic didn't teach us that, and the fact that we need to cherish and value every day, I don't know what else could show us that. Also, I have been prioritizing my health and fitness game. Yes, guys, those are my muscles. Although these are kind of genetic. I've honestly been in the gym since I was about 14, 15 years old, not consistently on and off, but as of late, I have been back to working out, prioritizing my health, making space for me, making it a priority. Just like I have my career, it's not on YouTube. I think you guys know that I'm an engineer. I've also said that multiple times in previous videos. That takes up my daytime hours, and now it's going into the evening more or less. So I have a thing where now I really have to prioritize that. That means I have to leave the desk and come back to the emails later, or if there's something urgent, of course I'll address it then, but I realize I really need to set like a off button, like just literally pressing an off button, going into the gym or going to prioritize my health, going on a run, and then I'll come back to it if the need, is there for me to continue. And like I mentioned, work as of late, it's always been a lot going on, but this year has just been crazy. At the beginning of January, I was thinking, okay, it's already a lot going on, but the workload has just increased. So it's been a lot on me as well. And my productivity during work hours, it's rolled over a lot of the times into the evening. So it also affected my time to upload on social media. And let's address the elephant in the room. The tourists have returned back to Rome, and honestly, it left me very unmotivated. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, living in a city where a lot of tourists visit, which is a wonderful thing because it's great for the economy. I mean, we had 2 years where no one could really get in, the businesses were closing, and now everybody's able to come back, and it's fantastic. But there's so many people here in this city right now, and I don't remember if it was like this before. I don't remember if it was like this 6 years ago. But it's so overwhelming for me. Like, I find myself so stressed. My usual Sunday walk is just like thousands of people around. And it kind of gives me anxiety. Like, I'm used to just having some space to breathe, and you go to a restaurant, it's like, I don't know. That left me a little bit unmotivated to upload too, because I feel like when I go to these places and there are 2,000 people around, like, it takes away from the magic that I saw of the place kind of empty during the pandemic. So I think I'll have to go like on non-peak hours, maybe over lunch, some weekdays or something like that. But now I think the season is kind of dialing down because it's Christmas time. So maybe over the next few months, I'll have the opportunity to record a bit more going out in Rome, because as of late, it's been impossible to me, or my motivation to record outside of the house has been really impossible. Because I physically just can't. I can't be dodging, bumping shoulders, and it's just too much. It's just too much. And on another note, I really didn't see the point, or I didn't really have motivation to upload to social media, because I don't know, I just feel like there's so many things on the internet. It's like somebody can upload one video, they're viral, they have millions of followers, blah, 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 and it took one day. I've been doing this for years, and I find myself like in the mood where I am proud of my subscriber number. Hello guys, thank you, like, subscribe, hit the bell. But also I feel like it could be more. I feel like I could grow my channel a bit more, my social media presence a bit more. And it's kind of been holding me back because it's kind of like positives and negatives. Like, do I see the benefit? I see it, but then I kind of find myself a bit unmotivated in that sense because it's just so easy that one thing takes off and that's it. You know, it's like, I don't know. I just didn't see the reward in it. And I realized that that's not why I came here in the first place. Like, I had to tell myself, like, why did I think that this was going to be like, not an easy thing, but I don't ever want to see it from like a numbers thing. And I found myself kind of looking at it like that, or a subscribers thing, like number of subscribers, the number of followers. And I told myself when I started my YouTube channel that I never wanted to make myself into the numbers girl, because I kind of want to have a different impact. The impact where, like, if a little girl is trying to move to Italy and she sees me on YouTube, she knows that she can do it too. So it's more of like an influence factor in a personal way, not a statistical way. Does that make sense? Does it actually make sense? Because I know that some of you guys have been really engaged in my content, and when I don't upload, I like when you guys are like, are you coming back? Like, what is going on? That's the kind of followers I want to have and subscribers I want to have. I want to have people that care. Like, everything good over there, girl? Like, what's going on? You know, people that kind of help you, like an internet family. That's what I wanted to build here. So even if that means the number is smaller for me, if it still has that level of like quality engagement, that's something that I really care about. Okay, so let's talk about it. What do I hope to have for you guys in the next months? I really would love to take you on more day in the life videos, and I really think that the tour should calm down. Maybe they'll spike at Christmas time. But that should give me a bit more time to take you around the city, have you just come with me on my day-to-day life. Like, I feel like a lot of the videos on my channel are more about this topic or that topic, must eats, must drinks, must experiences, best day trips. But sometimes I just want it to be like a chill and engaging with me in my real life kind of video where I just sit and talk and take you with me. So that's something that I want to make a goal in the coming months as well. That everything doesn't have to have a specific topic or focus. It's good to have that, and I will continue to have that, but I also want it to be more casual, like getting to know me, coming with me, seeing what my life is really like in Rome, and making it more balanced with my personality and my real life experiences. I also told you guys earlier that my goal is to upload once a week on Sundays and sometimes on Thursdays, because that goal I know that I can continue with. 2 times it kind of pushes me depending on the week, but 1 time I think I can do that. So that's all for this video, guys. I want to say hello to my new subscribers, and thank you all for being so patient with me over the last few months. It's been a long road, a long journey, and I really appreciate all of you guys, you know, for being here. And I appreciate all of your presence and just being engaged and, you know, writing me messages. I received a few messages over the last few months like, are you good? Like, what's going on? I'm fine, guys. Just been traveling and living life, okay? But no, I thank you so much for tuning in. So if you haven't already, make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys soon in the next one. Ciao, y'all.